Good morning. It is 4:30 a.m. and I've driven 2 hours from my house in the South Downs National Park to Dorset, where I am finally going to meet a photographer who is going to teach me how the heck to photograph my nemesis. Bluebells are an annual obsession of mine, principally because to capture a good shot, one that stands out, that's not easy, particularly when the internet is flooded with some good, strong, but sometimes mediocre images. Getting it right, that's the bit I have problems with.
Last year, I decided to explore the concept of self-development, things that would really make a difference to us as photographers.
And this is where you may consider investing in yourself in terms of specialist tuition. Now, I think this is where discerning what it is that you really want to know really comes into its own. These things aren't cheap, so you've got to get it right. Many of you know that I have a nemesis. It's woodland photography, and I probably have about 4 or 5 shots in total that I'm vaguely happy with that I've taken in woodlands. I also rather enjoy intentional camera movement, but I've never really been truly satisfied with anything I've come up with.
So with this in mind, I contacted the lovely Shona Perkins for some one-to-one tuition, learning something that actually was completely new to me, i.e. intentional camera movement that wasn't just uppy-downy. I later went back to West Wittering solo just to put stuff into practice and desperately keep Shona's words in my head at all times. Not bad. So back to that car park at 4:30 a.m.
Golly.
Yep.
Look at the state of you, welcome.
Dreadful. But worth it, I think, to learn from the man who won the 2020 Landscape Photographer of the Year with this sublime shot. To me, Chris's Dorset work in particular is exceptional. His artistic vision and ability to spot a character is what I really want to learn from him. My local woodlands are plentiful in terms of bluebells, but they lack that certain je ne sais quoi that I see in Chris's work.
The purpose of this video is not to reveal locations, for that is my tutor's business, and he has to make a living out of that. The purpose of this video is to work out if it changes my mindset and makes a difference to my photography. Is the issue all in my head, and can this man finally help and sort out my mental block? In order to prepare for today, I went out to my local woods. I took shots completely on my own so that I could go back and look at them with a fresh pair of eyes from the lessons I've learnt. There we are. Sensible of me. But what I didn't realise was that I'm going to be standing on my 17th wedding anniversary in a Morrison's car park at 4:30 in the morning, waiting to spend the day with another man. Doesn't sound dodgy at all.
Right to my local woodland prior to my coaching with Chris. When the panic set in, I went to my old favourite, intentional camera movement. I suspect Shona will be rolling her eyes at these attempts. Every other year that I've been to this location, I've done a sunrise, and sometimes it just got a bit too grounded.
Mind your personal space here.
And despite my photo buddy's clear appreciation for my scene, I still couldn't make it work.
0.5 millimetre gap.
That's mental.
So maybe sunset was the answer. After all, you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same results. Uninspiring mediocrity. And although sunset was offering me slightly different and perhaps more pleasing compositions, I just couldn't translate my vision into reality. Yet many other photographers have done a sterling job, so the issue is clearly mine. Spoiler alert, Chris is a miracle worker. Just saying. Now I confess, when I first saw this location, my heart sank because it's really similar to my local wood, and all I could think of was, oh no. I felt that familiar sense of panic, which Chris quietly observed, so he was able to guide me better at the next place. I knew what I was doing wrong, the lessons I needed to learn, but I just wasn't doing it. Then something clicked. As we were discussing another scene, I grabbed my camera, went handheld, ducked down low and took this. Let me show you the raw so that you'll understand how my creative vision brought it to life. And yes, that does sound so pompous. Now we're starting to cook on gas, baby. Yes. Onto another location where we have wild garlic and bluebells as a nice little mix, and all on a wonky angle. Now that is more like it. As before, a raw and process comparison for you. As you'll probably notice, I tend to try and guide the eye via the use of dodging and burning, controlling the light to where I want to take you. It's my current preferred style, and you'll see it much more here at this location, where I've got a delightful mix of bluebells and wild garlic. I mean, come on, how glorious! This is my first shot facing in the opposite direction to where I've just shown you. In addition to the dodging and burning, I've put a radial gradient in the background and dehazed it slightly, and a linear one in the front, and I've lowered the exposure, the whites and the highlights. Again, showing you the raw for comparison, and you'll note that I'm trying very much to guide the eye into the distance. As much as I'm pleased with this, the next one was when everybody else disappeared. Gave me a chance to just look and think about Chris's words, and yeah, I like this. It was about 40 metres up the path, and I just had the opportunity to stop and look and digest. You know what I mean? Nothing has changed with my editing. We're doing dodging and burning, we're doing linear and radial gradients, and I may change that over the years, but for now, nah. I think I'm just happy to have had somebody unlock that block in my mind. Another 100 metres up, I found this scene. I took no video footage because it was so flipping contrasty until Chris said, "Louise, look, this is a 5-shot focus stack. Focus on these points here." I'm so annoyed I didn't spot it because I was stuck on the high contrast scene in the background. Now, I have shot dominant ferns on a number of occasions and I love them, so why the hell did I not think about it on this occasion? I will not take credit for the idea of the composition here, but I will for the execution and the final result. Oh, I do like a dominant fern. This final location was on private land and we had permission in writing to be there. By this stage of the day, the light was so contrasty, and the mission was to essentially get anything shootable that just showed off the majesty of this glorious tree. It seemed the solution might be just to get down low, wait for a time when the sun goes in a bit, and voila! Okay, it's not going to win any prizes, but imagine this with a bit of mist. Ooh. As you'll see from this raw, I really had to work hard to try and bring out the detail in the tree and remove those highlights, or at least dull down the effect of them. I cannot deny it, this one was a tough cookie. I also cannot deny the effect that Chris had on my mindset. Now, what is it that you perhaps might want to look for if you're deciding to spend your hard-earned cash on some tuition or coaching? First up, you've clearly got to like their work. Next up, I would suggest you do a bit of research, however you can, as to what their teaching style is like. Also, have a look on their advertised group size. What you don't want is somebody who is so rushed to get the perfect shot for you that they literally pick your tripod up, put it down and tell you to click a button. That's not learning. There are some people, of course, that do want that, and that's precisely why many competitions will roll out images that have been taken on courses or one-to-ones. I think though we also have a responsibility as clients. Make it really clear what you do and don't want. I, for example, did not need to know about my settings. I did need to know how to unlock a particularly tricky scene. When I combine that with my work I've done on editing over the past year, well, that's where the impact is being seen. 1 in the field, but 2 in the background when I edit. So it's thank you to Chris Frost for asking the right questions and prodding me so that I could actually unlock something. And these are my 3 favoured shots from this session. I'd love to know if one of them in particular catches your eye. I'd also love to know if anybody has unlocked your potential. Who have you learnt from and why have they had such an impact? As ever, thank you for joining me today. I look forward to taking you with me wherever I am next time. Have a cracking couple of weeks.